Greetings, comic book friends. Let's get our Wednesday business done. That is New Comic Book Day. It is TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday. Man, these big weeks, they are making me have thoughts of maybe some life changes I need to make. This happens like every 2 months, right? And we've been having, I guess it's been a little bit of a balance. We have like really light weeks and then big weeks and then some in the middle, but I feel like it is definitely leaning towards getting bigger, which is understandable because I'm adding things. So I guess that's how that works. But there are also a lot of things that I'm dropping soon, or just getting over. So I guess I just have to ride out the limited series that I have, which are quite a few, and do my best not to pick up any others, or at least limit those that I pick up. I say that as I have picked one up today, but at least I know what my problems are, right? That's the first step in getting better. So first, speaking of miniseries or limited series, of Venom, Lethal Protector. It's a fun Venom sort of in his heyday story. Venom when he was Lethal Protector, he wasn't as quite the quote-unquote good guy that he is today, where he's kind of walked that line of he was trying to do good, but maybe he didn't do it in the best way. But it's been a good story. It is by Michelin. Did I pronounce their name? Who wrote the original Lethal Protector, which is cool. Spider-Man 2099. I love the 2099 universe. I love all the alternate universes, the M2 universe, and all that. So whenever something in that comes up, I usually have to pick it up. And it looks like the Spidey 2099 is kind of just going to be doing... Each issue is focusing on a different group of characters in the 2099 universe through interactions with Spidey 2099. I think I had one extra 9 on there. Spidey 2099, which is fun. All those characters are fun, and there's some new ones introduced as well, which is kind of cool. So a little more insight into that universe. Aquaman 5. This has gotten better. It never was bad, but the relationship between what's his name? Jason? Is it Jason? It's not Jason. Why can't I remember the new Aquaman's name all of a sudden? But in Black Manta, his father was getting pretty tired. Like, I understand why that is. It makes sense, in reality. But as far as, like, reading issue after issue, where it's like, I don't trust him, whatever. It got tired pretty fast. But now it's kind of coming together a little bit more. So that's good. God, it's not Jason. Why can't... It's Jay, right? It starts with J. Why can't I remember it? Ugh, it's killing me. And you know what? I'm not sure if this is a limited series or it's an ongoing. I'd be fine with either. I like having an Aquaman book. Aquaman book is fine as well. But I'm just not sure on it. But I do have quite a few limiteds kind of in here. Another one, She-Hulk number 4, also been great. I have been reading a lot of She-Hulk lately. If you watched one of my recent videos going over Sensational She-Hulk, and my read-through of that and my thoughts on it. I also read the first 6 issues of the Dan Slott run from 2004 or so. Really good. Need to finish that up. But She-Hulk has a lot of good stuff out there. And this series is good as well. TMNT number 130. Again, this is to the point where either you like TMNT or you don't. If you do like TMNT, you should be reading it. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. It's not for you. But I cannot stress enough that if you have any interest in TMNT, this book is incredible. get caught up with trades or whatever. There's a lot out there. It is on issue 130, but everything that this entire run has been fantastic. So it is well worth the money, at least to pick up trades, as long as they're reasonable and available. I don't know what the story is on that, but it's from the beginning. It's been incredible. Department of Truth number 19, a very patriotic cover with the eagle and the American flag. Still, and I don't know, it's in these trying times. I don't know. It's how to explain it. It's a departure from reality, but also at the same time, like a glimpse into reality. I suppose it's weird. It straddles that line of some of it is too true, while other parts of it are absolutely like fantastical. But either way, it's a fantastic book. I think the first 3 trades of that are out. Again, those I know are not hard to find. Definitely worth picking up if you haven't been reading that. Berserker number 9, still a fun story. I always talk about this as being sort of, your popcorn action movie where there's not the most depth to it, but it's fun. It's fun learning about the character, both what he did in the past and where he came from and what he's doing now. And the action in it is great, but there isn't a whole lot of depth, and that's not a criticism. It's just sort of a fact, and it's okay. I like having a book like that every once in a while where I can just sit down and like, oh, that was fun, without having to think too much. That book does that, and again, that's not a bad thing at all. Which it is kind of strange for Matt Kindt, because Matt Kindt tends to be very heady in his stuff. But, I guess Keanu balances them out a little bit, I suppose. Swamp Thing, number 14, what they're calling Season 2. We have some Green Lantern involvement here. It's good. I like this Swamp Thing. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be hard for him to become the long-term Swamp Thing like Alec Holland, or the Thing that thought he was Alec Holland. However you look at it, is tough. One of my favorite runs in comics is Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, and the identity of Alec Holland was so important to it, and the characters around Alec Holland, Abigail and so on. They do have Floronic Man is here. That's always going to be tied to the Swamp Thing itself in some way, just because he's a plant-based character. So I don't know where it's going to go after this. If this new guy is going to continue being the Swamp Thing, in what capacity, I'm curious to see. But as a limited series, it's fun. Do I want that character to be the Swamp Thing going forward, or do I want the previous to take up the mantle in some way? I don't know. Either way, it would be fine as long as it's good, I suppose. Robin 15. Robin's been one of the best DC books, in my opinion, out there. We have more family stuff. I would like to see this book get away from that. One of the reasons that I really like Robin is that when I've read stories of like him going out on his own, he does really well at standing on his own as his own character. But so far, the Robin series has been so intrinsically tied to the Bat family. I don't think he really has had a chance to, pardon the pun, but spread his wings. Let him get away from that. The first arc looked like it was going to be that with the Death Island competition or whatever. But guess what? Turns out it's about his grandma. And here we have more family stuff with with Talia. Let's see what Damian can do out of the shadow of the Bat family. That's what I'd like to see. Outside of the shadow of the Bat family and the Titans and all that, let's let Damian as a character on his own grow a little bit. And that's what I want to see in a Robin book, right? If he shows up in Batman, yes, I expect it's going to be tied into Batman stuff, but in a Robin book, a self-titled book, is the chance for them to explore him outside of that. I'd like to see that happen a little bit more. We got more. It's quite a heavy Bat week. Batman Beyond the White Knight, and great series. All the White Knight stuff is super fun. I really like to take on the Joker, and there's this question of like, oh, are you really just Jack Knight, or is the Joker slipping in into the entity that he is in this series? But it's good. Batman Catwoman, I believe this is the last issue. Issue 12 is what Tom King has been doing with these Black Label books. It's been fine. I think like there's been times where I've like really liked it and times I was kind of meh on it. Overall, it's good. If you can pick up the trades at a decent price, at a discounted price, it's probably worth it. Is it a must read? No. Is it worth your time? It's not wasted, but it's not the most necessary story. Despite it being sort of a heavy week, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books that were pulled off of subscriptions. I did pull 2 off the shelf. I got the Variants #1 for a number of reasons. It had 3 things really going for it. 1, I like Jessica Jones. 2, I like alternate universe stuff, which this is. I mean, it's Variants, right? They're getting that name from the Loki show. Clearly, my original hope with this, and maybe still a little bit, and it can bleed into that. I would love to see a new Exiles series. I could see when I first saw a book called The Variants from Marvel. Before I really saw it was like completely like Jessica Jones centered. I was hoping it was a new Exiles book, but they just named it The Variants to have that hook into the MCU, which I get. It makes sense. Like the Exiles are variants, right? The everybody in the Exiles and those teams are what the MCU refers to as variants. So I was hoping like, oh, the variants, we're getting the Exiles back. It's not. It's fine. So that, and then also Gail Simone. Gail Simone is a fantastic writer. It had those three things going for it. So I'll read the first issue. I haven't committed to all of it yet. We'll see. And then the last thing I pulled off the shelf is Mindset #1. I'm not real sure what it's about. I did a quick. So first of all, Vault. I typically have like Vault stuff. They're very horror oriented. I've had some misses with Vault before, but overall I do enjoy that publisher. And I also flipped through it and saw the art, and I thought the art was fantastic. So I decided to at least give the first issue a go. And then I don't know why I got this. I didn't really need to right now anyway, especially with how heavy the week was. But I picked up a trade, Once in Future, Volume 2. At some point, I picked up the first volume of this, and it is awesome. I know it's been out for a while, and I'm late to the game. But I finally got around to reading that first volume, and it was incredible. So I picked up the second volume today. I didn't have to. I could have waited till a lighter week. I probably should have waited till a lighter week, but I didn't because I'm me. It's just when I was there, I thought of it. I thought like, God, I'd really like to read the next Once in Future, and they had it. So I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up. So it's there when I want it, or there when I need it, which might just be this week. I don't know. I have a hard time. I really like that first volume a whole lot. And as soon as I finished it, I was like, I cannot wait to keep reading it. It is so good. So that's all for this week. In a fairly beefy Wednesday. I'm kind of in the mood for it, though. There's some weeks where I hope for it to be lighter, aside from the hit to the pocketbook. But sometimes I've either I want to focus on reading other things, or have just other things going on. Sometimes I'm just like, man, I just want to binge through a bunch of new comics, and I'm kind of in that mood this week. So even though it is a heavy week, it kind of came at the right time. So I suppose that's good. But that's it. Let me know how you did this week, what your thoughts are on my pickups, anything that I missed. So like, comment, subscribe, do all that, and of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.